I just learned a lot about myself in this here Walmart parking lot. I was just scrolling after I parked my car, as one does before, getting up the courage to go into the store, and I saw this girl on here talking about how she looked up men planking until failure, and she too learned a lot about herself, and I was curious. I was like, oh girl, what did we learn? We learned a lot. We sure did.
So basically what you're telling us is that you was on there lurking. You was lurking on a man, basically, is what you're telling us. Okay.
So I was in the grocery store just now, and I ran into a man who was tall, dark, and handsome. Now, I saw him before he saw me. I was going to go down an aisle that he was in, but before I went down the aisle, I realized I needed a new cart. Like, the carts in the store were acting weird. I needed a new one. I went somewhere else. There was this other man who helped me get a cart. And so by the time I got back to the aisle, he wasn't in the aisle, but walking towards me. He was coming, let's say the aisle is here. He was coming from here. So we're walking this way. We make eye contact. I don't remember exactly if I smiled, but I probably did because I'm the type of person who smiles at strangers anyway. So let's say that I did. I make a right to go down the aisle. He makes a left and follows me down the aisle. I can't say he follows me, but he came down the aisle after I did. So I'm like, I wonder where this is going. I go to the end of the aisle because I needed to get some bacon. He comes to the end of the aisle too. So at this point, we're both shopping for bacon together in silence. So I'm like, okay, thinking in my head, which brand, like which, price. And he's like grabbing 2 packs of bacon, but like still kind of just hovering, like standing there. And so I'm like, okay, well, I got my bacon. I need eggs. So I turn around. Right behind me are the eggs, grab the eggs, and then I'm on my merry way. I recount this story to my mom, and she's like, well, you should have said something. You should have, smiled at him. I'm like, I did. She's like, well, you should have looked up at him and said hello. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I did everything I was supposed to do in this situation. Number 1, I was alive. Number 2, I needed something that you also needed, and that led you to shopping beside me. Number 3, did I mention that I was alive? Like, what more can I do? She seemed to disagree. She's also married. So what do you think? Should I have done something different?
I recently did a video where the sentiment, and it was really in another context. It was talking about the whole Desmond Scott, Christy Scott thing. I can't even say Christy Scott anymore because that's not her name. She dropped her last name pretty quickly. Good for her. But one of the things the woman was talking to her boyfriend about, of course, not giving him the full context of everything that was said. And essentially she was talking to him about Desmond cheating. And he said, not everything is about you guys. If a man is going to cheat, he's going to cheat. That's because he has weak principles, yada, yada, yada. Okay, great. Man went on to say, I'm going to stand on my principles. I don't cheat because that's not what I want to do, so on and so forth. But the thing and the phrase that I want to take from there is, it's not about you. It's not about you. You guys were shopping for bacon and eggs. Guess who else shops for bacon and eggs? About 75 to 80% of U.S. adults report eating bacon at least occasionally, according to the survey data on breakfast preferences and dietary habits, okay? Frequent bacon eaters weekly are lower, roughly 40 to 50%, depending on the survey. Now, go with me here to this second paragraph. It says egg consumption. Eggs are one of the most commonly consumed foods in the U.S., with roughly 90 to 95% of adults eating eggs at least occasionally. Weekly egg consumption, any style, is typically above 70%. 70%. Okay? So if he's like most people, which is in good company, 75 to 80% of people, he's probably going to want some bacon. And once again, if he's like most Americans, roughly 90 to 95%, then he's probably going to want some eggs. And you know what else is a commonality? Milk. What else? Bread. Buy some bread and milk, some eggs and milk when you go to the grocery store. As a matter of fact, it's almost a cliche now. My wife sent me to the store to get some eggs and some milk. My wife sent me to the store to get some milk and some bread. It's a cliche because most Americans buy that. Have you ever thought, even though you're very pretty, maybe it isn't all about you? It's not all about you.
Why are you wearing lifted shoes?
Why?
Yeah.
These aren't lifted. I have insoles in them, but they're not lifted.
They're lifted. Where did you get them?
These?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're
I
lifted.
got soles.
No, they're lifted.
And the great part about it is that it took this man exactly 17 seconds to assess the stupidity and just walk off. He didn't make a video about it. Not that I've seen. It was, oh, she's been an idiot. She's clowning around. I'm going to walk off. And that's it. He didn't make a video about harassment. He didn't make a video about SA. He didn't make a video about why do men. He didn't make a video about these men out here won't leave women alone. None of that. He just said, oh, she's been silly. He turned around and walked off. He probably doesn't even know you. Have a good night.
I just got from work, and I remember this morning I was rushing and I left my lunchbox on the counter, and I texted my friend and I said, hey, mind you, a man. I said, hey, could you please put the contents of my lunch in the refrigerator so it will not spoil? And I come home, and to my surprise, this is what I come home to. The entire lunchbox in the refrigerator. I guess when I say contents, just the fact that it's in there is good enough. I swear, men.
I mean, imagine if you just did it yourself. Imagine had you not forgotten. And I know we forget, but imagine had you not forgotten and just did it yourself. The caption here says, did I not give clear instructions? Am I wrong here? Yes. Yes, you are wrong. There are men in the comments telling you you are wrong. One guy says, I don't see a problem. Another guy says, imagine if he wasn't there at all and your food went to waste. Another guy says, I don't see a problem. Right? One guy says 2 + 2 = 4. 3 + 1 also equals 4. Your food did not spoil. What's the problem? What's the problem? Another guy says, so he did what you asked with the idea of you can take it tomorrow and it's already packed. That's it. Another guy says you're making problems out of nothing. That's what modern women live to do. Make problems out of, they have to have some sort of attention. Instead of just coming home and saying, thank you for doing this, I'd rather get on here and complain about him not doing it like I would have done it. Well, you wouldn't have done it at all because you forgot to do it. How about that? And you called him to go do something that should have already been done. So you stopped him from doing what he was doing to go do what you wanted him to do. And this is how y'all get in the mother role. Because y'all be talking about, man, I gotta do everything. My mental energy, my mental load is so drained. You put yourself in that spot by talking to him and saying he didn't do, and he probably won't do what I told him to do. I gave him clear, what she said, instructions. Is he your child? Is he your son? Is he your little nephew that you boss around? I mean, is he your little brother? I'm confused. Just say thank you and move on about your day.
Something that I realized the other day was that women will get blamed for everything except for their own success. For example, single moms get blamed for being single moms and that the father's not around. If it's a romantic relationship, the woman will get blamed. They'll be like, oh, she can't keep a man. She probably didn't do X, Y, and Z. However, when she's successful, that's when the man is credited. For instance, if a woman likes to travel, she has nice things, she has designer clothes, she's extremely successful, that's when people start saying, oh, she must have a sugar daddy, that must be daddy's money, man must be rich, she must do OnlyFans, i.e. male attention. And it's never because she works hard for it.
Well, it might be because they're talking about relying on a man. I want a man to pay all my bills. And for a man to do that, he would have to earn a good amount of money. So he would have to work for that, because there's not a lot of men that are being handed that type of money. So they would have to work for it. You see, how many dudes do you know that are staying home as stay-at-home dads versus stay-at-home moms, stay-at-home wives? Some of these women don't have any responsibilities. Like, they don't have any kids. They just stay at home. They're not a mom, but to anybody but their dog. And they just stay at the house, really doing nothing. That's the soft life that a lot of women want. Maybe not the majority of women, to be fair, but a lot of them. And so when you say, well, what you need to be doing is getting a man's money, and this is how you do it, this is how you meet rich men. I don't, well, you know what? Maybe it's, hey, you want to meet a beautiful woman? Go to these spots in New York. I haven't come across those videos, but maybe they're somewhere on TikTok or Instagram. But what I do see a lot is, hey, women, if you're looking for this type of man, successful, this is where you can find him. And you have that type of stuff in New York, or that type of stuff in Texas. You have that type of stuff in California. Any major city, you're going to have women saying, you want to know where to meet him in Arizona. You want to know where to meet him in North Carolina. That they're trying to find the men. Oh, go to Home Depot to look for a good man. Look for a husband. Go to a country club. Stand camped out in front of a gas station. Go to church. Maybe not so much singles events because men are not going there, but try this upscale lounge over here in New York. Well, all of a sudden, which you're wrecking the owner's business. All of a sudden, you have an influx of women going there and really buying nothing but water. They wouldn't even buy an appetizer. So you got them coming in there doing what? Having the man pay. What do women say? Well, what's mine is mine and what's his is ours. So, yeah, a lot of men with the statements that women make and many more I'm probably forgetting, and it's just not coming up to me. They're going to assume, well, he probably paid for that. Because you say, I would like a man to pay for that. I would like a man, even though I make $100,000, I would like him to make more than that. I would like him to make at least 150 to maintain my lifestyle. So that way, if and when I have to go out or I have to stop working, I want to stop working, or maybe my mental health declines and I want to go do X, Y, and Z, he's right there taking care of me. That's what they're looking for. So naturally, yes, they would conclude that because there are women, not all women, but there are a lot of women talking like that.
So I made a TikTok a few days ago talking about how in the dating scene, men don't really initiate anymore. And then for some reason, the algorithm hit like the lonely male demographic. And I'm getting flooded with messages in my inbox about like wanting to date me. And that's not what I meant. I meant it for the girls so that we can talk about it. So please stop. Thank you so much.
Great comment here that says, woman complains that men don't initiate. Men begin to initiate. Woman tells men to stop initiating. She says here in the comments, is DMing really what really initiating means in 2026? Yeah, it's a form of initiating. It's literally initiating. What are you talking about right now? Once again, we don't call women losers enough. It's almost as if a lot of these modern women don't have common sense. Yeah, you said that. Well, I meant this for the girls. What would y'all be talking about? How men don't approach you? You wanted to find the side of TikTok to where you can complain about men not approaching, and then men start to approach you. They start to initiate, and then you say, well, not that type of initiation in person. Even the men in person, they wouldn't come up to you. I don't think you guys understand that you're not as cute as you think you are. You're not as pleasant to be around as you think that you are. That's really the long and short of it. You're not that pleasant to be around. And so the men that you want are not initiating. It could be the case that you're working through something, you're transitioning through something, and on the other side you might find your person. That could be the case. It's a possibility for anything. But can we also leave the possibility open that you're just a trash person? You have some good qualities, but maybe there's some glaring weaknesses that you need to work on. Can we leave that possibility open? Man, come on, guys. You need a little bit better than this.
Oh, Melissa, how's dating going? I'll tell you how it's going. I went out on a couple of dates with this one guy who, midway through our last date, a girl was calling him on his phone and he ignored the call. She was calling again. He ignored the call. My spidey senses started tingling. But I was already sleeping over, totally PG-13 vibes. But in the morning, I decided to leave a pair of my earrings there because I'm a girl's girl. My only regret is that I didn't hide them more inconspicuously. But anyway, he must have known that I was catching on that he was trying to play two girls, maybe more, at once. And he decided to end things through a text. At which point he gaslit me. Red flag number 2. Red flag number 3 was when I finally got accepted to the Are We Dating the Same Guy group for my area. There were 44 comments under his picture. 44! Needless to say, I dodged a bullet, but that is how dating is going. Thanks for asking.
It's like modern women are magnets to these types of guys. They're magnets to these types of guys, and they get mad at the guys. They get mad at the men for the men that they decide to pick. You and all of these other women, you don't find that strange? You don't find that strange that all of y'all, what do you say, 44 comments or whatever? You don't find that strange that he's meeting the same women? They say that there's a small percentage of men, statistically speaking, they don't say that. The statistics say that. There's a small percentage of men committing all of the crimes. A small percentage of them committing the vast majority of the crimes. Right. Okay? The majority of men are good, upstanding citizens. Do you have some knuckleheads? For sure. For sure. Some brothers that like to get into some mischief might get thrown in jail for a night. Yes, absolutely. Yes, you do. A knucklehead. But men that are actually getting in trouble and committing crimes, small percentage, right? And it seems like it's something that translates for whatever reason into dating. And now here you are talking about, oh man, this guy did me wrong. He did this, and this. He did you and 40 something other women wrong. He did you and 40 something other women wrong. And y'all just allowed it to happen. So there's something that he's doing that's catching you along with 44 of your other closest friends now. And y'all keep on falling for the same mess. Y'all haven't analyzed why that is. And then where are all the good men at? Sitting here watching you fall for the same old okey doke. Fall for the same old tricks. And then you want to check, are we dating the same man? It don't matter what you check. You're going to do it anyway. Y'all going to do it anyway. There's out of 44 of them women, there's been somebody that has said, I don't think that you should be messing with that guy. I think you should probably leave that guy alone. And you decided, too good to be true. It's really good. You know what? And this is when y'all be thinking with y'all's other head, if I can say it like that. Because y'all just decide, oof, I know I shouldn't. My heart is telling me no. My mind is telling me no. But my body's saying, yeah, it is. And I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to do it for the plot. And then when the plot unfolds like we thought it would, here you are sitting Indian style. on your couch talking about how much of a jerk he was. Like we told you. We already saw the story. We already knew what the plot was going to be. You did too, but you didn't care because you wanted to be a part of the plot for once. You wanted to be involved with the plot. Oh, I see all these other 44 women having fun. Why not me? You only live once. Dang. Y'all are getting what y'all deserve at this point.
Oh, and I can't marry a guy that don't know how to fight. I need to be able to say, oh, my man will fuck you up with confidence. Clock it.
Honestly, y'all, I don't know why some men are so proud of their height to the point that they will put it on their IG bio. It's like it's become part of their identity or something. I mean, it makes sense if it's on your dating profile, but on Instagram, TikTok bio.
They're excited about it. They're happy about it. They use it in their bio because, like somebody said in the comments, it works. It works to the extent that most of these women getting on dating apps are admitting they're filtering out guys that are 6'2" and under.
I have something I've been thinking about that I want to ask about, but it's going to cause an uproar in the Black male community, and I don't know if I really want to do that, but oh, fuck. That was God telling me to not do it.
Yeah, I seen this video where this girl was like, what kind of panties are y'all wearing to the gym? And all the girls was in the comments like, we don't wear no panties to the gym. And I was finna make a video and be like, y'all ain't wearing no panties to the gym. What the hell? But then I was like, let me do some research on the hygiene of not wearing panties to the gym. So I looked up, like, is it hygienic to not wear panties to the gym? And it said it might be a little more hygienic to not wear panties to the gym than to wear panties to the gym. And I was, bitch, wig blown back, because what you mean? What you mean I need to go commando to the gym? I just can't see it. I just cannot see it. Like, you mean my bare coochie out in my leggings at the gym while I'm sweating? But according to Google, it might be a little more hygienic because you have less fabric and you dry quicker and your coochie can breathe. I don't know. I don't know if I could get with it. I don't know, y'all.
And men in the comments saying, don't listen to Google. Stop listening to Google. You said, I can't see it. The men in the comments saying, we can see it. We can see it. If you're sweating, anyways, you got to do something, please. Please don't do that. Please. Even if you just, no, man, just don't do that. No, don't do that. A guy here in the comments said, yeah, I'm definitely taking my own disinfectant wipes with me to the gym now. Bro, you late. Bro, you should have been doing that, Doc. You should have been doing.
I will never take a man for granted ever again, especially the men that pay for dinner dates. So yesterday I decided to take myself on a dinner date, a 5-star dinner date, okay? I did not realize what I was going to be spending on this date. So I just moved to a new city and I'm like, you know what? I don't have friends. I don't have a man. Let me get outside and possibly meet somebody new. So I decided to walk because I live in the city and I don't want to pay for valet and I don't want to find street parking. So I get bundled up. I got my big winter coat on, my gloves and my earmuffs. I enter this restaurant looking like a homeless woman. I don't look like I belong, but that's okay because money talks and I got money. So I say, please sit me at the bar. They give me a seat at the bar, not only at the bar, but the worst spot at the bar. I'm at the very end of the bar, okay? It's a very big, long bar, very fancy bar, okay? They sit me at the end of the bar. Next to a first date. The first date is having fun. They're laughing. They're enjoying each other. I'm sitting there depressed. I don't want to sit next to them. I want to sit in the middle of the bar where everybody else was. I can easily see the middle of the bar, the end of the bar over there. I see businessmen. I see pretty single women. They're all laughing. They're all getting hit on. They're making friends. And I'm sitting over here with this couple from Tinder like, fuck. Why am I here? I don't want to be here. I want to be there. I felt like a kid in high school that didn't get chosen, okay? I'm over there like, pick me, choose me. I almost asked if I could move seats, but I didn't have the balls, so I stayed where I was. I ordered my food. Let me show you guys what I ordered. I ordered a filet. It was mushy. It wasn't worth it, but the cheesecake was good. I got cheesecake, and then I got potatoes, the crunchy ones, gratin, the fancy ones. So, and then 2 glasses of rosé. So I'm sitting there enjoying my dinner, okay? And I'm staring at everyone over there. I want to be over there. They're looking at me too. I see the men looking at me. They notice me. They want me. I'm feeling like Pretty Woman in the corner. Pick me, come over here, come over. Nobody had the guts. Nobody made their way over to me, and I didn't have the guts to make my way over them. So I ended up spending $175 on this lonely, sad dinner. And then I was sitting there thinking, gosh, I wish I had a man, because if I had a man, I wouldn't have been paying for this. If I sat over there, one of the men probably would have offered to pay for this, but I'm sitting over here by myself, so I had to pay. And in that moment, I'm like, you know what? I will never take a man for granted ever again. I love men. We need men. We need men, okay? Men are great. Men are amazing. There was a bonus. The lady next to me, she came in late as I was walking out. She sits down and goes, are you the girl from social media? I say, what girl? She says my name. I say, oh my God, yes, that's me. That's me. Am I a celebrity here in this little small town? What the fuck? So then the bartender overhears that and gives me a free glass of rosé. So I didn't walk away empty-handed, but I realized I would never, ever take myself on an expensive 5-star dinner date ever again. I'll only go with a man, and I love men. Love you guys. Bye.
So a guy here in the comments says, this post explains why men are withdrawing from dating voluntarily. The other guy says, as a man, it kind of sucks to hear we're only great when it's time to pay for things. That's it. Another guy says, that was just for you. Double it if the guy is there and he's paying. Another guy says, I work in healthcare and stopped dating in 2020 due to the pandemic. When I did my taxes in 2021, I realized how expensive dating really is. Since then, I have used that money to travel all over Europe. Asia is up next. The world is filled with gold diggers at worst, and with women who see us as free ATMs to buy expensive meals at best. I am done with dating. The other guy says, ma'am, excuse me, is there anything else that you need us for? The other guy says, that saying I've heard time and time again proves 1000% true. And it goes, when a woman pays for her own meal and drinks, it's the day she will be humbled in herself. This footage is proof, full proof. So basically he's saying, now that you pay for your own stuff, now that you pay for your own meals, oh man, I didn't know. I was unaware. I didn't have a clue. That this was the case. Man, these men been paying these prices. I mean, he's still gonna pay the prices, but wow, I'm still gonna get what I'm gonna get. But wow, man, I am not. Wow, man, maybe I need to start being nicer to men. Maybe I need to be. I need to start being grateful. This is what men keep on trying to tell you. You guys don't have any concept of reality outside of yourself. Everything is about you. Everything is about what you want. Now I see you got your little makeup on, you got your chest out, you got the nails done. That's nice. I appreciate you doing your nails, you got your eyebrow. I see all that. Appreciate it. But the fact of the matter is, y'all are going on multiple dates. And so even if one man pays, like let's say 200. Let's say he pays 200 for the date. You got your hair done, maybe your hair was 200. You're probably going to go on another date. That's your makeup, right? He's already paid for your makeup. $200, another $200 is your makeup. Oh, well, my makeup costs this, and this. Well, you're probably going to go on 3 or 4 dates. By my calculations, that's $600 to $800. So your hair, your nails, for both your hands and your feet, and your makeup is already paid for. At that rate, he could have paid for everything on your body, all of that. your clothing, your accessories, all of it. He get paid for your eyebrows, your lashes, all of it. 3 guys, 4 guys. And what did you give them in return is what we need to be asking. What do they get in return? $200 for divine femininity. $200 for trash conversation for a couple hours. What did they get in return? What is the tangible return on their investment? That's what he said. Like what he said. And this is why. This is why men are withdrawing from dating voluntarily. I don't see what I'm getting. I don't see what I'm getting. Y'all complain and y'all going to go back out there and do the same thing. You're not going to have any compassion on a man. You're just going to say, wow. The only thing it's going to make a woman do, because she's going to still order that $500 plate. She's just going to say, man, I'm glad I'm not paying for it. Whew, if it was me, I wouldn't be getting this. That's what she's going to say. But she's still going to get it. Oh, well, he's paying. And then when somebody says, hey, man, don't you think that you should probably think about somebody else or maybe be considerate since you know how much it costs now or have an idea? Well, and here we go with the gymnastics. Well, if he wants me and if I'm valuable, then he'll do it. And I know it's a lot, but I think I'm worth that much. And my therapist told me and my pastor's wife and my mom and my daddy and my cat's out in the back sitting on my fence told me. And my dog that was digging a hole and pooping in the backyard told me as well. And I saw a mouse run across the yard and underneath the concrete. And now he jumped in the sewer. But I heard him before he jumped in the sewer scream out and tell me that I was worth it. That type of nonsense. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and run it up. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and get what I was going to get. Because in the end of the day, it's his responsibility. It's his money. And I'm going to be eating on his dime. Y'all have a good day.
What's going on in gyms with girls and like for blokes? Like you're in a gym and you're not supposed to look at women now because everyone's sensitive and you're not supposed to glance at women because, you know, feminism and fucking for whatever. And, you know, we're powerful women, but you're not allowed to look. And men are supposed to like not be perverts and not be a menace and not wolf whistle and not see us and not care and not, you know, perv. But then if men are supposed to not perv and not look, why have you got all of your clunge on display? And if men are supposed to not look at you and not pervert you, why are you turning up to the gym with your arse positioned inside a smile with a scrunchy bit in order for you to be able to see more of it? I saw a lady in the gym the other day, no offence because you're in the gym, well done you, but the leggings went right into the arse crack. They weren't just trying to smooth your arse, they were right in. I could virtually see whether she needed a shit or not. And I just question, ladies, girls, I question, are you not giving off mixed signals? I'm not trying to blame the woman that gets attacked for being attacked. It's none of that. I'm just saying, you're walking in there like, bana, bana, wah, here's my flange, look at my flange, did you want to see my flange? Like you were supposed to be maybe just going for a bit of exercise. Maybe you want to lift a bit of weights. Maybe you're going to go for a little trot on the treadmill. Why are you going in going, here's my flange and it's vacuum packed for you, but you can't look at it. Here's my arse. You could park your bike in this, but you're not allowed to look at it. I just wonder if things have got a bit confused. And I do wonder what men are supposed to do. Like, what do you want from men? You want them to look or you don't want them to look? You want them to say you look hot or you don't want them to notice at all? And if you don't want them to notice at all, why have you also done your hair and your makeup? Like, fucking give blokes a chance, would you?
It's tiring. It's men are fatigued by this type of stuff. And the thing is, it never stops. It never quits. Men are tired of seeing it. Men are tired of women will set up in a certain part of a gym and make it just a nightmare for men to even be around. Imagine going in there trying to lock in. I'm just trying to go in here. I'm just trying to lock in. I had a really crappy night last night for whatever reason, or really bad morning at work. Everything's going awry. I just need to get in here and knock this workout out. This is my happy place. This is where I come to just release and just let all the frustration from the day go. But when you get to the gym, you now have to worry about essentially landmines. I now have to worry about where I'm looking, where my focus is, and if a woman decides that day that she's upset as well, so she needs somebody to pick on. Now all of a sudden, I got to potentially get into it with you. Now all of a sudden, I potentially got to sit up here and listen to you act crazy, talk silly. I got to listen to all that. And the fact of the matter is, I don't want to. The fact of the matter is, I came in here to work out. I came in here to chill. I came in here to have a session, just an hour or so to myself. That's all I'm looking for. But I got to listen to you. I got to hear about what you got going on. I got to dodge your stupidity. Maybe you had a bad day at work and now you want to come in the gym and you're recording. And if somebody should look over at you, now all of a sudden it's, oh, what you looking at? Oh, hey, I'm going to go get the owners of the gym. Why? I didn't do anything to you. I was just trying to put the dumbbells up. Why don't you leave me alone? I'm not going to do that because as a woman, as a modern woman, I'm a loser. And you're right. I can see all up your behind. I can see exactly what's going on. I know you guys probably think that all men like that, but they don't. That's not something that all men like. Some men say, oh man, I saw that. Yeah, man, I saw that. I thought that was, yeah, man, it's hard for me to dodge that, man. I got a wife and kids at the house, man. And I know they probably think I'm looking at them. I'm not. I don't want to be involved in that. That's the long and short of it. That's the long and short of it. I don't want to be involved in that. And that's really what a lot of men are saying. But because y'all have been programmed by society and you're so full of yourself, you think that a lot of men are looking at you. You think that a lot of men are paying attention to you. And some men might look at you. Some men probably staring at you. But then there are some men that probably look at you like, man, I know if I had a little girl, or I know I wouldn't want my little girl wearing that. And then they look away. A lot of times you might catch them because when you get up and you start looking around, you might see somebody else looking at you. Oh, there he is. He's looking. I was only looking at you for a second, and I wasn't even looking at you like that. Relax, chill out. But of course, y'all are so starved for attention that you're going to hop on any trend and any chance to say that you're a victim. Any trend and any chance for you to get validation. Like I said, I'm tired of it. The fatigue is real.
That lady really got up on here and told y'all, you single, dusty bitches who hug your pillows at night, hoping that it's the man that you yearn for. I don't think she said all that, but that's the way I heard it. Shut up and don't talk about the fact that I'm not going to be my boyfriend's landlord because he's giving up his $3,000 apartment so that he can come move in with me and not pay half the mortgage. Listen, girl, different strokes for different folks. I'm not here to whack you. You know what I mean? I've seen that enough. I have a couple questions though. When you say that you pay the mortgage, what does he contribute? Because you talked a lot about what you're contributing, and I just heard that he's a pilot in the military, which a lot of people have a lot of opinions on that. I'm not gonna say nothing, but what does he actually contribute, right? Because, a lot of times when y'all be oversharing these things and then wondering why you're getting whacked on your FYP, it's usually because it doesn't quite sound complete, equal, I don't know, proportional, I don't know what the right word is. But it just sounds like he's getting a free ride and you're hoping that he gives you a ring. What happens if he doesn't give you a ring? Like, forget him taking your house. He can't take your house. You bought it before you were married, right? You seem very smart, financial educator, all that good stuff. But what happens if he doesn't give you a ring at the end of all of it, but you have this man living with you as a crash pad or a launch pad or whatever the heck the flight attendants call it?
We are not engaged. We are not married. He's moving in with me to my house that I own.
A social media influencer named Erin Confortini just revealed her boyfriend is moving into a house she owns, and she's refusing to charge him a single penny. No rent, no split bills, nothing. Her logic? She doesn't want to feel like her boyfriend's landlord. She says her mortgage is covered, she doesn't need his contribution, and she'd rather he take the money he used to spend on rent and put it into his savings. In her mind, they're building toward forever anyway, so everything will be combined eventually. But here's where people are side-eyeing the situation. If the end goal is partnership, why delay shared responsibility? If bills will be split later, why not start now? Because what this actually looks like, to a lot of women watching, isn't independence. It looks like auditioning. Not charging rent doesn't magically remove power dynamics. In fact, it creates a new one. You're not his landlord, but you are subsidizing his life. You're paying the full cost of the household while he builds savings, benefits from stability, and hasn't made any formal commitment. And this is the part women have seen before. Moving like a wife before a man has made you one. Covering bills, creating comfort, proving you're not like other girls, hoping generosity translates into security. No one's saying she owes the internet an explanation, but it's worth asking honestly whether this is about love or about hoping generosity makes someone choose you.
And we just listened to those two videos there. I think it's the same idea that women go through in these relationships with men. We've heard a lot of how a man, I think actually not too long ago, recently, a man was moving into a house. Well, they were both thinking about moving into a house. And, well, no, they were going to move into an apartment together. Lease was over for both of them, and they were going to make the jump, right? He decides, because he got a pretty big, I want to say it was a pretty substantial bonus or something like that. He came into some money from his job. They paid him a pretty good penny. Essentially, he said, you know what, instead of me buying or going into another apartment, I think I'm just going to go ahead and get a house. I think I'm just going to go ahead and put up and get a house. She then says, okay, well, I thought we were going to get an apartment. What are we going to do now? Because, you know, I was pretty dead set on the apartment, and now you went and got a house. And he said, okay, I mean, if you still want to move in with me, you can. She said, okay, yeah, I want to do that. And he said, essentially in so many words, okay, yeah, cool. Well, we'll keep this same arrangement that we had already. You just move in with me. Well, I don't want to pay your mortgage. Well, I wasn't expecting to do that. So basically, I'm having to pay you. I'm having to pay your mortgage. What were you expecting? Were you expecting to get a free ride? Were you expecting to pay a cable bill here and there, and that be your contribution? Well, you already paid for the house, so, you know, just let me save my money, and I go shopping, and you put your little sunglasses on, and maybe even go get another car that's a little bit more expensive because you have the funds to do that now, because you don't have to pay the rent, right? You start shopping a little bit more because you have the funds, because you don't have to pay the rent. And all of a sudden, that portion of money, well, you know, I do give him or treat him a little bit here and there, but, you know, mostly he allows me to have my money, and my money's for me, and I keep that because, once again, my money is my money and his money is our money. And the man is supposed to be the provider. The man is supposed to be the protector. So I get to do whatever I want. So you basically get to act irresponsible. So it was okay in the situation where the man was saying, well, you know, I would expect you to continue paying what it is that you're paying, what we already agreed on, because I already put the money up for the house, a sizable portion of money. So I would expect you to come in and pay what you were already going to pay, and maybe even give you a little bit of a discount, but you was going to pay that in rent anyway. So why not pay it towards the house like you was going to do? If you was out there, you would still pay rent. Oh, well, you should love me enough and see my value enough and all of that BS. So basically, you don't want to pay it. You want to pick a bill. Well, I'll pay for YouTube TV. How much is that? What, $85 or something like that? $100, the tax, maybe. So $100. Let's say you pretty high earning, right? Maybe you make 70,000. Let's say make 70,000. Let's say you make 6,000, 6,500 a month. After taxes, let's say you bring home maybe 3,000. So essentially what you want the man, and you're probably going to bring a little bit more home in take home pay, right? You got your insurance, you got your car payment. So let's say your car payment is 500, insurance with all that taken out. Yeah. Let's say about 3,000. You have left over 3,000, right? You're going to take 100 out of that and put on YouTube TV. You're probably going to be buying groceries. And at that point, because you don't have any responsibilities, then you'd probably at that point, instead of shopping modestly, you'd start buying more organic stuff. And even though you'd buy it for the house and he can partake in it, then you'd probably say most of that stuff is for you, because you'd buy stuff that you like specifically. And if he eats it, he eats it. And it would be because he tried it out. It would be something that he just picked up and said, oh, that looks good. And he tried it out. It's like, oh, wow, these are really good. See, my boyfriend likes them. But it wouldn't be anything like he would naturally eat it. So by default, you would be buying that stuff for you. That would be slated towards you. He would still be buying the groceries overall for everybody. Yeah, you might trip in here and there. You might get him an expensive Christmas present just to say that you've done your duty. Maybe you get him a little something for Valentine's Day, and maybe you splurge on him for his birthday. But you should be able to, because you have all that extra money left. But on the whole, throughout the year, your monthly set bills are probably going to be 100 for that. Let's say 500. Let's say 700 for your car. So 100 for the TV. Let's say 400. Probably even more. Let's say 600 for your groceries. So what is that? 700 plus 700 for your car. That's 1,400. And you still got maybe a little over 1,600 to play with. What else are you doing? 1,600 on shopping, getting you some Lululemon stuff, shopping some sales, and you're not going to be thrifting, getting you some of that aloe stuff, that Gymshark stuff, or whatever you girls like, getting into all that stuff. But none of that is going to be put into savings. It's just going to go to you. So now when a woman gets on here and she says, well, I'm going to let him put that money into savings for us. That's going to be for our household. We're building towards a future together. See, y'all want a man just to take your word for it when he take you out on a date and he spend $500. Well, yeah, just take my word for it that there might be something here. And then a week later, when you call and say, yeah, I really wasn't feeling it, he just lost $500. But now when she get a house and she say, well, you know what? I'm okay with him coming in. I'm gonna buy the house anyway. He can come in. I'm comfortable with that. I like that arrangement. He said, hey, can you, I'll pay rent. And I said, no, that's all right. I mean, I got it. Thank you though. I got it. I seem to recall we had this same problem maybe 3 or 4 months ago when another woman said, my boyfriend, don't know if it was her fiance, but my boyfriend's going to move out of his parents' house and he's going to move in my apartment with me. I'm going to take care of rent. He tries to pay me rent. I'm giving it back to him. Oh, girl, why would you? Because he's still working. And I know he would do the same thing for me. So I'm going to hold him down like this. This is what I intend to do. And the women on the internet ablaze. See, the funny thing about that video, that second one there, was a woman was talking about, oh, well, you know how it looks to the women on the internet. She ain't say no men. She said, you know how it looks to the women on the internet. Because y'all running y'all's mouths. Y'all don't got nothing productive to do but run your mouth. That's how it looks to us. Well, y'all don't run her business. Y'all don't pay her bills. Y'all don't do none of that. So your opinion don't matter. That's the problem with modern women. You always think that your opinion matters about something. You ain't nobody. You ain't nobody's mom. Well, some of y'all are. So you somebody's mama. Y'all don't run nothing but your mouths. Y'all need to leave people alone. And whatever you was thinking, you was right. Dusty. Y'all sleep with your pillow. I'm going to be hugged up on my man watching Netflix. Because that's how I want to do it. And guess what else I'm going to do? I'm going to get up every day in my gym shorts and walk out with that camera watching me do it and put my blinds up. Blinds. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my workout and post it for y'all to watch and enjoy. Oh, I really like this. You guys go get this protein bar. And that's going to be the end of that. And y'all going to like all of it. You going to like it. You going to save it. You going to share it. You going to repost it. And we're going to go about our business. Y'all be blessed.